It's a thrifting time, my dudes.
Okay, my biggest thrifting tip is gender doesn't exist. It's just a construct that Value Village made up to confuse you. Go to the men's section. Just trust me. The shoes, look at some short king donated these shoes. They're freaking fantastic. I bought these ones and then I also bought these ones.
Bam.
Well, they're a bit tight, but...
Hey, that's what she said.
And these are from the women's section and Christian's trying them on. They were a bit too small, but pretty close.
Wait, show them the suit. Look at the suit moment. Look at this suit. Oh, it's so expensive. For what?
Because tonight will be the night that I will fall for you.
Because they're not at a game store, these might not work. Because these are just donated.
Gosh. That's so cute. Dude, do you want a genie one? Good. Rub it, see what happens. Suitcases. Look at all the nice suitcases. This one's so pretty. It's only $14 for like a really nice suit. Ugly.
If you know how I feel, why would you say that? Like, you put me in such an uncomfortable situation. Like, you know I'm not happy. You know I'm trying.
Okay, Christian disagrees, but I feel like these guys look like System of a Down.
Look at this. Look at her. Look at this. It actually doesn't smell bad. We're gonna wash it, so I'm gonna take all the fabric off. Look how beautiful it is! I'm so excited!
Okay, here's a clip of me cutting the fabric off. There's a zipper on it, I realized afterwards, so just don't cut it if you can avoid it because it's gonna fray a bit in the wash. Mine frayed a bit, but it was fine.
Okay, I've got the fabric. Oh my god, it's so pretty. Okay, time to wash it because it's kind of stinky.
Okay, I'm editing right now, but I realized that I didn't even tell you what I'm making. We're making a fashion corset top. Here. Well, here's what it's gonna look like. Now I know what you're thinking. Oh, the chickens, they grew up so fast. No, this is what they look like now. Just teenager chickens.
Sorry, I don't have any change.
For this corset, you're gonna need about a pillow's worth of fabric.
Hey Christian, should I do sleeves or no sleeves for the corset top? Like little like little skinny ones or just like strapless, and then I could add
both.
little like
I like both though.
I could add little like ribbons
Sure.
for sleeves instead. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if that helps.
No, that does help. Wait.
I have a cat.
Oh my god. Where is it? Ah! It's so cute! Oh my god. You my kitty cat!
It's my audience.
Now that you've decided on adding sleeves but later change your mind again, you're gonna go ahead and take your bed sheet and cut off that weird thing that bed sheets have to make it fit the bed. And you don't need that, and you're gonna use this fabric to be your lining fabric because you don't need to buy new shit when there's old shit around, you know? Next, print the pattern, make sure it's to scale, and then cut out all the pieces. Okay, the pattern I used is right here and it's free, so I'll link it down below. And now another crucial step is that you need to give your cat some attention before you start working on this corset because they're going to be upset that you're not paying attention to them for the rest of the day. Okay, take that bedsheet fabric, put your pattern on it, and then cut it out, but also make sure you add the seam allowance because this pattern doesn't have seam allowance included. I did 1/2 inch because personally I felt like that was a good amount for me, but you do whatever you want. Also, my other fabric is really frayy, so it was good to have extra. Also, iron the fabric before you do this. I did, and it still looks like this. And for the section of the corset that you do up, like with the eyelets on it, I'm adding some interfacing to the lining to make that extra strong, even though it's going to be like extra strong and doubled up in fabric and also have bones in it. I want it so strong, I don't want any risks, so I'm adding interfacing. Now, if that took you as long as it took me, your fabric should be out of the wash now. Do the same thing, put the pattern on it, and cut that shit out. You can probably tell at this point I stopped measuring the seam allowance and just eyeballed it. Don't do that. I mean, it worked out, but don't do that. Okay, so this is like a Realio Delio corset pattern. This ain't no cut out a rectangle and add bones to it because there is no freaking way that would work for my body shape. That's just not going to happen. So we're making this, you know, curvy corset, and that means that when you're pinning, you want to try to match up those curves and make sure you're following those curves. But yeah, definitely doing this curvier type of corset rather than just like the straight rectangle one is definitely going to be worth it, and you're going to notice a lot of differences in the shape. Now, I would probably recommend to do this step before cutting out your shell fabric. So sew your lining together, try it on, make sure it fits you well. This can kind of serve as a mock-up and your, you know, lining. And if all that goes well, then you've already got your lining done. Then you just have to cut out the other stuff. What am I even? I'm just repeating myself at this point. Okay, and after you sew your lining together, then you can go ahead and sew your shell fabric together. I feel like some of you guys are going to be mad at me for cutting up this pillow and turning it into something different, but it was stinky. I don't think it was going to, you know, do well living as a pillow still. I think it needed a little pick-me-up. So you're going to have to forgive me for this one. Side note, I've been talking about corsets so much making this video, and now my Instagram is just giving me ads nonstop about corsets. Excuse me, did you not hear that I'm making one? I don't need to buy one. I'm making it, Instagram. Can you just leave me alone? God!
Hey, God, Karen, you are so stupid!
Yeah, you can see here I'm going really slow, trying to follow those curves really carefully and really stay on that correct seam allowance. And it's because, you know, the pillow is not super big, so I am really using every little bit of this fabric that I can, and there is no room to make a mistake. Now, you may have noticed at this point, or not, I don't know what you notice, that we are indeed not going to be doing sleeves. I just decided that was a lot of extra work for a very little reward, and, you know, maybe I'll add these little type of, you know, strappy things here later on that can come on and off, but for now, no. Next, we're going to be adding in some boning. Now, there's two options here. Option number one I'm showing you right now is actual proper boning from the store. I think this is Featherlight boning. It comes with the casing, so you can see I'm just stitching in those casings and just trying to line it up to make sure it looks good on the outside as well as being secure on the inside. And now option two is using zip ties. Kiana Bonolo, don't get mad at me. I'm sorry. The fabric store is so far, and I only had a little bit of boning left. So what I'm doing for this is I'm just taking that seam allowance and sewing it down to make the channel for the zip ties, because they're a lot thinner, so that worked really well for me. I didn't even film myself pushing in the boning because it's difficult, you know, just trust me on that. You don't have to see me do it. But here I'm basically just making some little holes with my seam ripper, and I poked myself really hard, so just be careful. And then you're going to push your eyelets into those holes, and then you're going to hammer them in. I screamed before, didn't I?
Yeah.
Get it in there. Yeah, that one worked out well. Look at that got. And now look at those secure eyelets. Don't worry, we're gonna cut off that like frayed bit after.
Those are so painful that I just can't even comprehend that.
Huh?
Just no.
What?
I just can't do it.
Oh. Okay.
So there I was just pinning the hem, and now I'm sewing up that hem, making sure that I'm sewing the lining down as well. And just make sure you cut your boning short enough, or else this will happen. Yeah, this was bound to happen.
Great success.
So now I'm going and doing the little final touches, so just doing some hand stitching to fix up some areas and cutting off the little loose threads because
I hate doing shit and not perfecting it.
Well, I think at this point
You're done. You're done. You're done.
Shannon, why? So long.
Thanks, sponsored by this video.
Okay.
I push my fingers into my eyes. It's the only thing that suddenly stops the ache. But it's made of all seems like one big pass. You're left with me cause you left me no choice. I push my fingers into my eyes. It's the only thing that slowly stops the ache. If the pain goes on, I'm not gonna make it.
I don't know if I can bend like that in this outfit. I like what you're doing though.
Put me back together or separate the skin from bone. Leave me all the pieces, then you can leave me alone. Tell me the reality is better than the dream, but I found out the hard way. Nothing is what it takes. I push my fingers into my eyes. It's the only thing that slowly stops the ache. But it's made of all the things I have today.